Welcome, and thank you for visiting my channel and watching this video. I am Anita with beandesigns.com. I invite you to join me as I venture through this journey of creating and documenting 52 DigiScrap layouts in 52 weeks using GIMP. I love digital scrapbooking as it is the best of both worlds for me. Using the computer to create the page and then printing it into a bound book for myself and others to enjoy. I have found GIMP to be an awesome graphic tool for creating my scrapbook pages. I have used PSP or PaintShop Pro in the past, and I find GIMP to be as good as or better than PaintShop Pro. I recently sat down to do some scrapbooking after not doing any for a long time, and I reached a point in completing the page where I couldn't remember how to do a function I needed to do. So I went to YouTube searching for a tutorial and found very few scrapbooking related GIMP tutorials. I finally discovered my own YouTube from 11 years ago and taught myself how to do what I wanted to do. This started me thinking, hmm, are there other people out there who want to use GIMP for their digital scrapbooking projects? Yes. I wonder, would they want someone to walk with them through the process? I have lots and lots of photos that I need to put into pages. So the idea was birthed. 52 DigiScrap layouts in 52 weeks using GIMP. A scrapbook page layout will include photos, background papers, elements, a title, and journaling. To start a new image, a new scrapbook page, we're going to first go to File and say New. You notice that the default is pixels. I'm going to choose 3600 by 3600, and the reasoning for that is I do print in 12 by 12 pages, but I want my pixels per inch to be 300, so I have to go to advanced options in order to choose the 300 pixels per inch, and then it's 3600 by 3600 pixels. You can verify that you have it correct by changing this designation from pixels to inches and find 12 by 12. Okay, I have the right print size set up. So then I'm going to say okay, and it sets up a new page. You notice that I have a page here, then I have my two toolboxes over to my right. I have a very wide monitor. I do have GIMP set up not in a single window mode. If you want a traditional look, you can put it into single window mode. That only allows you to have one image, however, and I want to have two images so that I can work side by side for a two-page spread. So I like to do it this way. In order to get very close to life size, I use 25%. On my monitor, this is close to life size, so I have an idea of what it's going to look like when I'm printed it out. But this isn't this is not the full image. So if I go over to my display navigator, I can push the button on the far right, and it reduces the image window to just the size of the image display. I click that, and there I have it. No scrolling. My entire page is visible. That's how these pages are set up here. My whole page is visible, so I know what it's going to look like when it's all done. First step, choosing photos for the layout. I wanted to represent everyone, so there is at least one photo of each person. The little people seem to have snuck into more than their allotted one photo, but you know they move around a lot. Once the photos were chosen, I played around with them to determine a pleasing layout, scaled them to fit the proposed layout. I decided on grouping the horizontally oriented photos together over on the left page and the vertically oriented ones together on the right. The leftover two of my husband and I were used as accents. First step, done. Next step, pull in the background pages and elements. Sometimes I have to pull in several items from the kit to see which one works best with the layout. I used papers and elements from a free download kit I had on my computer. I will provide links to the designer in the description box of this video below. Once the pieces are in my image, I work with their placement and sizing. Now I'm going to place the title over here on the Christmas ornament, type out the journaling, and label the photos with names and ages for future reference. At this point, all the components of the page are in place, but it has a flat look. This is where GIMP is going to shine. I'm going to now put shadows under the elements, the ribbons, the bow, ornaments, flower clusters to give depth. I'm going to put a darkened edge around the main paper and the accent paper to give it dimension, and ink the edges of the photos. I'm going to walk you through each of these steps so that you will know how to do them as well. So let's start. I'm going to work on the left page. I'm going to actually increase our, magnification. Couldn't think of what the word was. Okay, you can see now that it's magnified, I already do have a shadow here on this ribbon and a shadow on this ribbon. But if we move down, look here at this red one. There's no shadow on this red ribbon. So let's find this layer. So I've got it, it highlights over here in my layer palette. So now I know I've selected pasted layer number 2. So it's over on my layer palette. And I can see that it's the one I want because the yellow dots are around it. So I'm going to put a shadow on this ribbon. We'll go up to the main menu, filters, light and shadow, drop shadow. Click that and we get our box. Choose OK. And there we have it. We have a shadow on our ribbon. It has dimension. Let me see if there's another one that I left undone. Ah, look there. See this one? It doesn't have a shadow on it. So let's find it. Okay, I clicked on it and it actually brought up the box, but we don't want to use that one because it's not on the correct layer. Let's choose the right layer. There we are. We're on the correct layer now. Light and shadow, drop shadow, and okay. And there we are. We've added a shadow to the ribbons. So let's zoom back out to 25%. You can see the whole page. I've got shadows on those things. I think I have a shadow on everything. So let's move on to giving dimension to the whole page. This background paper is beautiful. It has texture to it. It's got shading to it. It's kind of monochromic, but it has some character to it. Let me show you what we're going to do. Let me show you the end product of what I'm going to walk you through. If I show this layer, which I had hidden, you can see that we're going to put just um, a darkened area around it to give it dimension. Let me walk you through the steps. Let's choose the background paper on our layer palette. We're going to duplicate it. So now there's 2. All right. We're going to use our selection tool. Look in our tool options. We're going to feather the edges and we're going to round the corners. So we clicked those things. Now we're going to go over to our left page here. Click in this corner. So now we have selected an area of this layer. We're going to delete that. You can use the traditional Control X for delete, and it deletes. You can see how it's feathered so that it's going to be gentle. Go over to your layer palette, go to mode, and choose multiply. Oh, that's kind of strong, isn't it? Let's reduce the opacity. So if we pull that down to about 45 and then we select none, look how gentle that is. It gives dimension to the edge. Kind of looks like the edge of the paper is a little bit curled. I love doing this because it gives it a little bit of a realistic look to my page. I would also do this to this accent paper underneath the photos over here on your left. I would do it to the right paper as well and this accent paper. So let me just show you what they're going to look like. See, I just opened this one up on it and let me just walk you through. Let's go over to the right page and I'll show you the accent page and let's walk through doing it again. So I've highlighted the background page, duplicated it. I'm going to use my selection tool, feather my edges, round my corners, choose my selection, delete, cut. I cut, Control X, cut it, delete it. It's working on it. There, it's gone. We're going to go up to mode over in the layer palette, choose multiply, and then we're going to adjust our opacity to whatever we would like it to be. If we wanted to move right on to the accent layer, we could go ahead and duplicate the accent layer, Alt adjust the size of our selection. Over on the pasted layer, Control X for cut. We've cut it. Now we can dissolve that as well. Multiply that. Select none. And there you have it. We've completed darkening the edge of the background paper. We've done all the shadows for giving dimension to the elements. So now let's ink our photos. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's increase our percentage. What is the word? Let's zoom in. We're going to zoom in here. So we're going to zoom in at these pictures. If you'll take a look here at the right, see this picture? And it has, it looks like it's curved on the edge, but you know it's not because this is digital and everything's flat, but it looks curved on the edge. Looks like it has dimension, whereas this one here is so flat. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's called inking edges. So I'm going to select this layer. So there we go. We know we have that layer because it has the yellow outline. Okay, I've got that layer over on my layer palette. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Alpha to Selection. Click that and I now have marching ants around my selection. I'm going to go to Select and I'm going to feather that selection. I choose 25, push OK. Going to choose Select from our taskbar again, and I'm going to shrink our selection by 10. Now we have marching ants just inside the picture. I failed to duplicate this picture because I don't really want to get rid of the picture. I just want to add something to the top of it. So let's go back over to the layer palette. I'm going to duplicate that picture. Now I have, you'll see in my layer palette over here, I have two copies. I'm on the top copy. I have selected just inside the edge of that top copy. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to push Control X. You can't tell that it's gone, but it is gone because I can see that over here it's gone. Let's go back up to mode. We used that before. We're going to use it again. Push mode. We're going to choose difference. So I pushed difference. Now, you really can't see what's going on. So how about I say select none and voila! Look there. Let me get the yellow parts off. Now it has dimension. Let me walk you through another one. Let's go down to Rose. Let's pick her. Where is she? That's not her. Okay, we'll not choose Rose. Let's use this one. Okay, so we have her on the layer palette. It's chosen. We can see that because it has the yellow outline. We're going to duplicate her layer. We're going to right click, alpha to selection. We're going to select feather by 25, push OK. Select shrink by 10. We've selected it. There's two of them. We're going to cut that part out. We're going to do, what mode are we going to choose? We're going to choose difference mode and select none. There we go. So the truth is, I can go through here and I've hidden all of the inked edges, but let me walk you through one more. Let's do this picture and matte. Let's click and find the layer that has my matte. So here's the matte. We're going to duplicate that layer. We're going to right click, alpha to selection. So now the matte is chosen. We'll go to select, feather, OK, select, shrink, OK. Then I'm going to cut, remove that piece. We'll go to mode and I will multiply the edge for the matte. Then I would go to my picture and do the same thing. Do all the steps. I'm just going to unhide that so you can see that there's the inked edges. Let's unhide all of the inked edges so that you can see all of our papers. Not all of our papers, all of our photos with inked edges. Oh, we need to hide her because she's got two there. Let's find this one. There we are. Okay. So you see I've got this magnified so that you can see it better. We have these two photos. We've got their inked edges. These two have their inked edges. These have inked edges. I have my journaling. I have my pictures labeled, picture labeled. We have shadows on these, and looks like I need to label this picture here. Let me put it out to 25% so you can see the whole page. And let's do the same thing over here. Let's unhide our inking. Looks like I've here. Whoa, look there. There we go. Looks like the paper is not inked. So let's just ink that really fast so that we have a complete page here. Cut that. We'll go to mode and make it multiply and select none. Okay, let me show you how to save it. We're going to go to File, and we'll say Save As, and you'll find the folder where you want to save your page, your image. The image with all of the layers is an XCF file. So you want to save it as an XCF so that you could come back and make any changes. This one over here on the left page is Christmas XCF. So that one's highlighted. It's in my album. So I'm going to push save. It's replacing the one that was there. It's exactly the same. Now, but you can't print that. So in order to get a print file that you can print, you're going to go to Export As. Now you'll see it's in my album, which is the same folder that I was in before, but it's only showing me my JPEG files, which I had to create this extension, a JPG file. It's trying to make me do a PNG file. So this one is the Christmas. So I'm going to click on that, say export. It's going to take me to, this one's going to replace it. Yes. It's going to take me, oh, is it going to take me to, okay. Yes, there. Okay. So it's going to ask me, here's my little message box. What quality do you want? Well, if I'm going to print it, I want it at 100%. So make sure you change this to 100%. And export. And now you have a file. Now you have a file that you can print when it comes time to print out your book. Let's do the same thing over here. File, save as. I'm going to choose my file. I'm going to replace it because I've already had it before. I would recommend saving your files on a regular basis, just in case your program crashes. You want to be able to not lose the items that you have created. Save on a regular basis. So now we have actually completed one whole layout, 2-page layout. We completed it, we saved it, ready to move on to the next one. This is the beginning of a 365 days, 52 weeks. We're going to have 52 layouts by the end. I'm going to work on 3 albums. This is my 2019 album. I'm working from December back to January. I'm going to be working current, the 2020 album, moving forward. And we had a child get married in December when our son got married. And I'm going to be working on a wedding album. So you might see portions of any of those albums in the next 52 weeks. If you'd like to be notified next week when my next video comes out, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, just come and find me when you're ready to watch. Have a great day, and I pray blessings on you and your family as you make and preserve memories for your future generations through scrapbooking. Bye-bye.